What Okay, so a basic overview of some SEO stuff that you have to be kind of aware of, and we'll get deeper into some of this stuff, but I want to touch on some of the basic stuff. So, first thing you got to know is about your URL. Okay, hold up, let's back up. Let's start with what Google is. Google is basically a spider that crawls all of the different websites and reads articles. So, content that is posted on a website, if it matches what you put in the search engine, then that feeds on page optimization, that feeds Google the information to say, oh, okay, this is a match. Then it will also go in the back end, which is called off page optimization, which is backlinking, which is other pages that link back to your page. Back in the day, like originally, that's pretty much all you needed, was that you could call up your friend and say, hey, I'm going to link to your page, you link to my page, and you have this whole linking farm, and it would work to rank you. Nowadays, Google's got hip to that trick, and rather than based on volume of how many backlinks you have, now it's based off of quality, which is a separate type of metric that we'll get into for that kind of algorithm. But basically, you don't want to be over optimized. If ketogenic diet and your URL is ketogenic diet, and the title on your homepage has ketogenic diet, and some text in your body is talking about ketogenic diet, and links that you have on forums or any page that is like social media or something, and everything is ketogenic diet, like exact. Google will actually, it's called the Google slap, and they mess up your ranking and just like take you off of people being able to find you because they know what you're doing. So you don't want to do that. Stay far away from that. Another thing that people used to do based off of keywords was they would literally put text on the website in like white text uploaded against a white background, which is called keyword sandwiching, and you also want to stay far away from that. Okay, so moving on to old things that people used to do that you don't do anymore, but giving you an idea of how Google finds what sites are valuable and how to rank them. So now, they use anchor text, and there's probably 5 or 7 different types of anchor text. We're going to get into that. So first, let's start with the URL, right? Because it's the first line of defense. You have an exact match URL, which is or domain, they call it a EMD, exact match domain. Then you have a PMD, which is a partial. So going back to the example, if you're doing kinegetic diet, would be exact.com. If it's partial, then it's like the best kinegeticdiet.com. And then you have a branded domain. On William McLaren, I have a domain, williammclaren.site. But the point is that I'm not pushing you on a ketogenic diet or keywords. That's just branded for myself. Okay, now moving on to keywords or anchor text. You have similar ones. You have the exact match keyword. You have a partial match keyword. You have the URL, which is just naked. So then you have places like Bitly and Google that you can do shorteners. There's benefit to that because it's aesthetically looking clean and everything, but the benefit to the SEO out of leaving a naked keyword, where rather than you, and then there's another category like go here, click that, stuff like that. We've all seen that. But the benefit of not going that route where you highlight it and hyperlink to the actual link you want to go to, but change the text, just leave the link bare. There's a benefit to that as well. So they're looking for that. What else is there? There is LSI, which is latent semantic index text, or index keyword, which is like a fancy way of basically saying synonym. Like, rather than ketogenic diet is exact, you could say protein-based life food cuisine, right? So they search for similar keywords that are related, LSI, to not be over-optimized. They're also looking for citations, right? Which is anytime that you list a name, address, and a phone number. So whether it's on your own website or a social media website, anywhere that name, address, and phone number, it's a citation, right? And you can go to places like Moz, and there's a whole bunch of them out there where you can actually purchase citations. It's marketplaces that will provide these services for you. The social media they look for. They also look for redirects. So if you purchase a domain and you want people that go to that website and get redirected to a new page, we can get into that later. It's not as important. But there's this thing that is called a PBN, which is a private network or PBN, private blogging network. And that is when you own all of the domain sites and you basically use like one of these things that scrambles your IP address so that they can't trace that it's coming all back to you. See, if Google sees that you have all of these different websites and you're using them to link back to your one website, and they know that it's all just coming from you, they'll also like push down your ranking, and penalize you for that. So there's ways to get around that. Okay. Now, each time that you do one of these things when you're link building, you want it all coming from different domains, and especially domains that have authority. So if they've been around for a long time, if people really like enjoy the content that they're sharing from those websites, forums, stuff like that, where people are engaged and there's high value, that kind of behavior gets rewarded. You've probably already been link building and like not even realized that you've been doing it. Say for instance, you're going through Instagram and you thought a video was funny and you shared it with your friends, or I'm trying to think of other reasons why I share stuff. Something was important to a team. Oh, okay, here you go. You have a group of people that you're networked with in Slack or something like that, and you share these things. That is a form of link building, which you're probably not aware of. You just think you're sharing content, but it's actually the foundation of how Google uses to determine why something should rank higher than the other thing when you have two exact same things. Both people are, selling ketogenic diets. What makes this one better than the other? So that kind of gives you just a general overview of how SEO works, and in other videos we'll actually get into it and show you how to do it.